Hi students, welcome to class. Put your stuff down, go ahead and put your phones in the phone pocket up front and take a seat. I'm going to turn down the lights. We're going to do our opening meditation for 5 minutes. All right, you all are ready? I want you all to close your eyes and take a minute to take a few deep breaths. I want you to set aside any stresses, conflicts, worries that you have from outside class, and just allow your mind to clear and bring yourself into the present so that you can be here with me and fully focused on what we are doing today. Ding! All right, our 5 minutes is up. Let's get into our opening activity. I have a video for you on tamarins. And well, first of all, our topic today is deforestation and biodiversity. This is fitting within our larger theme this month of human impacts on the environment and sustainability. So here we have a video on deforestation and how it is affecting a particular species.
Hoy en día, pues por la mano criminal del hombre, se está acabando la casa de ellos, que es el bosque seco tropical. Y lo estamos acabando, la ganadería, los cultivos de pancoger como yuca, ñame y eso, está acabando con la casa de los tití, y por eso tenemos que protegerlo porque está en peligro de extinción.
It's a story repeated throughout the forests of South America. In the past few years, deforestation rates have increased by 14%. Across the continent, tens of thousands of fires are started every year in order to clear land for cattle and crops.
All right, so there was our video on the tamarin and how it is experiencing population loss and facing extinction due to deforestation. So I have some terms, important terms that we're going to go over regarding this video and the topic at large. So first off, we have deforestation, and that is the clearing or cutting down of forests. This is not always bad, but oftentimes it's done unsustainably in a way that negatively affects plant and animal species. And one of those negative methods of deforestation is clear cutting, which is the removal of all the trees in an area of forest. This is the worst method of cutting down trees. It just wipes out a particular area of a forest. And we will further discuss what that means for other species in that area. So some discussion questions in relation to the video. So what was happening to the tamarins in the video? Okay, yeah, great job paying attention to the video, paying close attention, and noticing those details. Thank you. Next question. What are some reasons people cut down trees in a rainforest? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Really creative thinking that you're doing there. Awesome job. And lastly, who benefits from cutting down the trees? Mm-hmm. Particular people. Okay. Awesome. Okay, I'm hearing companies. Yes. Where are you hearing this information from? Okay, your mom told you that? That's really awesome. I'm glad that you're being exposed to these topics at home. So now we are going to move on and think on a more global scale. So here we just talked about or saw an example of a particular species in one location that is experiencing population decline as a result of deforestation, cutting down trees. So next we're going to move on to an activity where we have a mapping tool that we're going to use. and we are going to use this to visualize how different regions across the globe are being affected by both deforestation and how different regions across the globe, or what different regions across the globe can offer in terms of biodiversity. And that's going to overlap in some cases. There are going to be some regions that have a high biodiversity, which means there's a lot of variety in the species that are living there. But then also you're going to see a layer on top of that where in those regions there is a lot of deforestation or other negative impacts on those environments, and we don't want that. It's really bad for climate in regards to climate change and just ecological sustainability and strength as well. So let's go ahead. We're gonna define our goal for this activity. So I want us to use this map and also online research to explore biodiversity and deforestation around the entire globe. And you will have some freedom, some time on your own to explore particular regions that you're more interested in, or particular human activities that you'd like to investigate. If you have any questions, because there are going to be some terms that you may be unfamiliar with, I want you to go ahead and use your resources. I'm here if you have a question, but I also really want you to rely on the internet. I want you to be independently researching, and we also have the books in the classroom for you to use as well. So we're going to open the map. There are some tools on the side for you to activate and deactivate different layers that you're interested in. And like I said, if there are terms that you don't know, make sure you're utilizing your resources. And I want you to take note in your notebook of areas that are both high in biodiversity and also high in human activity, with particular attention to deforestation, which is what we're discussing today. So here's our map tool. Before you go ahead and explore independently, I want us to adjust these layers on the left side. So let's get rid of tree cover gain. We want to delete that one. And let's delete the bottom one that says just tree cover. Okay, so here we have tree cover loss. So this is where, and it's saying displaying tree cover loss with greater than 30% of canopy density. So here, this is showing us where we are seeing deforestation happening across the globe. And the darker the pink, the more trees that are being cut down, the more canopy that's being lost. So we see a lot of deforestation in Russia, down here in Indonesia, and see Malaysia. And on the bottom right, students, there's a zoom out and zoom in tool, so you can kind of adjust that as you'd like. See some in Central Africa here, down here in the Amazon region, Central America, South America as well. So we have a lot to explore here. I want us to also add, come down to the biodiversity where the paw print is, and I want you to click on biodiversity hotspots. So this is where, this is particular regions of the globe that have high variety, high species variety, or diversity. So these are regions that we especially want to protect from things like tree cover loss, deforestation, and where those things overlap, that's concerning to us, so we want to take note of that. So let's see. These layers are similar in color, so you might want to play around with the opacity to better visualize. You can click on this circle with the cutout portions, and you can kind of adjust the opacity, which will help you see which one is which. So here we see, if you make it kind of a lighter pink, it might help, about 60%. You see a lot of biodiversity here in Brazil, in Bolivia, and Peru, along the coast here, a lot here in Mexico, see in Morocco and Spain. But see here, the Amazon, I don't know how much you students have heard about issues in the Amazon, but here we see there's a lot of biodiversity, but then we also are seeing a lot of tree cover loss. In the news especially, they've been discussing habitat loss and deforestation in the Amazon, and we'll explore that further, but the Amazon is of particular interest because much of the trees in the globe are located in the Amazon, and it's a really important place in the world ecologically. So we want to take note of that region especially. So go ahead and explore on your own. You can play around with these tools. So say we have climate on the left. You can turn some of these on or off. You have land use, so logging concessions, mining concessions, and concessions are going to be locations in which those things are approved. So people can do logging or people can do mining in these regions. It doesn't necessarily mean it's happening, but it's allowed legally. Let's see, land cover. So there's some particular types of forests. So go ahead and explore. I'll give you about 15 minutes for independent exploration, and then we'll come back together for an activity. All right, students, so we are going to go ahead and jump into our next activity. This is our number heads together activity, and so you all know how this works. In your groups of 5, go ahead and number yourselves 1 through 5. As a group, you're going to go ahead and answer the questions below. I will randomly pick a number 1 through 5 for each group and ask that person to answer one of the questions for the group. Everyone should be prepared to answer every question, so I don't want to see groups doling out single questions to single people and just focusing on that. I want you guys all to be working together on them all because you don't know who's going to be chosen. Randall, I am seeing some really awesome teamwork that you're doing there. I see that you're participating really effectively and making sure that your group is on task. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a biology buck that you can spend at the watering hole at the end of the week. Thank you so much, Randall. All right, so students, we're going to go ahead and come together and answer our questions. Table 1, I am choosing person number 3 to answer the first question. What is extinction? Okay, done with that. All right, now we are moving on to our closing question. So, students, what was or is the most fascinating or shocking thing that you learned today in class? And just this, we're going to do this popcorn style, so just go ahead and raise your hand as you'd like to, or if you'd like to contribute. Yes, that is concerning, isn't it? Yeah, if you'd like, I can give you if you'd like to research that at home and bring in some more information about that topic, then I can maybe give you a biology buck for that tomorrow. Yeah. Susie? I'm really impressed that you paid well enough attention to notice that detail. And I noticed that you have some previous knowledge that you're applying to that. And it's awesome, and it makes me really happy that you're making those connections. Nice work. Okay, so before the bell rings, I'm going to make sure we understand our homework assignment for today. So you have 2 things that you're going to be doing. So first, you're going to be reading a passage from ReadWorks. It's called Nature Under Threat, Water from the Air, Cloud Forests. We'll give it a quick gander here. So this is your article. This page has 6 articles here, but I want you to focus on this cloud forest one. And if you need to, you can listen to it here if you'd rather not read, but or if you'd rather do that as well as read it. You do need to read it though. We are going to be using our marking the text strategy to interact with the text today, and you all should understand what that looks like. But just as a reminder, we're going to go ahead and number each paragraph. I want you to circle the key terms. I want you to cite the authors, and I want you to also circle the key terms, circle the authors that are cited, and also circle essential words or numbers, pieces of data that you see in the article. Also underline the author's claims and other information relevant to the purpose of the entire article. If you can find a thesis statement, then go ahead and highlight that, okay? So in addition to reading that article and marking it up, I want you to answer one of these two questions with about a paragraph. First question, a person's ecological footprint is the total impact that person has on